Get ready to sing your heart out. Penn Live Arts is bringing Choir to Philly on Saturday, November 8th, to unite strangers through the power of communal music making. This is your chance to be the performer, singing your way through the greatest songs of all time, from Leonard and Joni to Whitney and Shania. So whether your voice sounds like, or more like, you're invited to this epic sing-along. Get your tickets for November 8th at PennLiveArts.org. It's the Friday News Roundup. We're talking about an important election next week, where to find food pantries and free food in Philly. Plus, 6'7", the viral sensation has Philly roots and gets a new honor. It's Friday, October 31st. I'm Trenae Nuri. And here's what Philly's talking about. Joining me this week at the Fiddler Club, the CityCast Philly executive producer, Matt Katz. Hey, Matt.
Happy Halloween, Trenae.
Can't you tell I'm so excited?
We always appreciate your annual Halloween voice. It's the best.
All right, in all seriousness, though, next week is Election Day. Matt, let's quickly go over what's on the ballot.
Okay, there's a lot. But people aren't paying attention because it's a very sleepy election. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go through this. It's important that everybody pays attention and listens to this thing because, this has actual real consequences, this election. All right. First up, the marquee race is technically district attorney. This is probably the second most powerful job in the city. But this has been a very sleepy affair so far. Democrat and incumbent Larry Krasner and Republican and former judge Pat Dugan are having a rematch from the Democratic primary where Krasner destroyed Dugan. Mm-hmm. Dugan is now running as a Republican, even though he says he hates Donald Trump and is still a registered Democrat. But he thinks Krasner is so bad and has made the city so unsafe that he's running again as a Republican to try to unseat Krasner. But Krasner is expected to win because, even though you have you figure the city's small contingent of Republicans, mostly in the Northeast, Deep South Philly, they'll probably go for Dugan. So maybe the margin will be tighter than the primary, but there has been such little attention on this race. There have been 0 public events with both candidates, 0 during the general election. It's kind of crazy, right?
I think it's because the low voter turnout.
Yeah.
And the fact that the small number of Republicans in the city. Mm-hmm. Usually the primary tells us who's going to
be the winner, right? And now the fact that the general election is just a replay of the primary, you were expecting the same results. There was a lot more attention in the primary. There were actually debates. There's not even a TV ad this time around.
Right.
So this would be, if he wins, Krasner's third term. The other factors in the backdrop here, I think, is that the fact that the homicide rate in the city is the lowest it's been in decades, which even if you can make the argument that has nothing to do with Krasner, but when crime is not as peak of an issue, and it's not right now just because the homicide rate is so low, then it tends to favor the incumbent district attorney who's in charge of prosecuting crimes. The biggest issue in the race is probably something that just happened recently. That's the kidnapping and killing of 23-year-old Kata Scott, who we've talked about on the show.
Right, and the district attorney's office got a lot of blowback from
Yes, yeah.
Because
the alleged killer, Keon King, he had been previously arrested for kidnapping and assault, but was released after Krasner's office withdrew the case. Krasner now says that was a mistake, but it was a deadly mistake. King allegedly then kidnapped and killed Scott. So Dugan is blaming her death on Krasner. And the backdrop, of course, is that Krasner is considered one of these progressive prosecutors who's been the face of criminal justice reform throughout the country over the last several years. And Dugan wants harsher prison terms for violent offenders. He says that Krasner has been too soft on crime.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Matt, what else is on the ballot?
City Comptroller. also an important job, in charge of making sure our finances are in order here in the city. But this race is even sleepier than the district attorney race. Christy Brady is the incumbent Democrat. She's running against Republican Ari Patrinos. But Ari Patrinos has raised $0 for his campaign, and he offered no criticism of the job that Brady's doing when asked by the Inquirer. So I don't think Ari Patrinos is expecting to win this race, and I'm expecting Christy Brady to win another term. Let me tell people why they can have a say in this election, even though we have just told them about two races that are not very competitive. Right. So, judicial retention.
Judicial retention?
Not the sexiest of terms, is it? But this is huge. This is a really big deal. Basically, judges in Pennsylvania, after they're elected for a 10-year term, they have to be retained by voters for another 10-year term. So you have to go back and say yes or no, they can keep their job. And there is a hugely consequential judicial retention vote Tuesday for 3 justices of the state Supreme Court, which is our highest court in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The 3 justices up for retention are Christine Donahue, Kevin Dougherty, and David Wecht. They were all first elected in 2015, and they are all Democrats. And because Democrats currently have a 5-2 majority on the state's Supreme Court, if the 3 of them lose, the power of the court could switch to Republicans. And that is a huge deal related to a number of big issues. And that's why something like $7 million has been spent so far in this election. Have you gotten any mailers or anything like that?
Yes, I've gotten like the traditional flyers, I guess you would get in the mail.
Yep.
I've seen the TV ads. And also, I got a postcard here.
Whoa.
Can you hear that?
You brought it.
I brought it. This is a handwritten note.
Wow.
To tell me to go and vote. Like hi Trenae type, like it's very personal.
Like, hey girl, what's up? Go
vote. Go vote.
And that could be from somebody in another part of the country who is looking at this race.
Maybe?
I no, it's actually getting national attention.
Really?
Because Pennsylvania is a swing state, and it's getting national attention, national money, because Pennsylvania is a swing state, and the Supreme Court of our state has a lot of influence over voting and elections. Like this current Supreme Court, they have ruled on allowing ballot drop boxes to be used so you can drop off your mail-in ballot at a drop box. They've upheld our mail-in voting law, and these are rulings that have been criticized by Republicans. So there's major implications for whether or not any of these rulings might help or hurt voter turnout among Democrats or Republicans, and that could come into play during a national presidential election.
Makes sense.
Since Pennsylvania is such a critical swing state. So there's so many issues related to voting access that the justices have power over. That's part of the reason why there's been $7 million spent on this campaign by outside groups. Republicans are some of the other issues that are like hot button here. Abortion, pro-choice groups are pushing for the justices to be retained because abortion issues are being litigated in the state, like whether Medicaid can cover abortions, and that could be decided by this court. Republicans are going after the justices because they supported the state's COVID lockdowns during the pandemic. And so that potentially could hurt these justices in conservative areas. But you know, the justices are out there. They're sort of campaigning. They're making public statements. They're doing interviews. And they themselves say, listen, we're just applying the law. This has nothing to do about politics, which, you know, you can take with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But I'll play a little tape. We have Justice Christine Donahue, one of these Democratic justices up for retention. She was at a forum moderated by our friend Jerry Gregg from WHYY, who was at Central High School in Philly a few weeks ago. And here's a little bit of what she said.
Our personal views, our political views, our religious views are left on the wayside. They have absolutely nothing to do with the manner in which we can decide cases and do decide cases.
So take that for what you will.
Yeah.
This is the wrinkle here. the party is actually not listed on the ballot. So the average voter actually won't know if these three are Democrats, which they are. Yeah. So I was talking to someone about the election and they're like, I don't care. I'm just go in and I vote straight down the line Democrat. I'm like, well, that might not be totally clear to you.
Right.
Because it's just going to ask you whether to vote for these justices and it doesn't have a party affiliation next to their names. So if you're not like highly engaged, or if you don't listen to our show, which is, by the way, why everybody should send the show in the group chat, then you won't know.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Right?
Now, Matt, what if these justices lose?
Yeah. First of all, that has only happened once in state history. Only one statewide judge has ever lost retention since 1968. That's according to Spotlight PA. But if they do lose, then Governor Shapiro would have to appoint a replacement or replacements, but that would require a 2/3 majority vote from the state Senate.
No.
Right?
No way.
There's no chance that happens.
No chance. We don't even have a budget.
That's right. Because the state Senate is so divided and split among Democrats and Republicans that they can't even agree on what to do with our $50 billion of tax and other money that they have sitting there. And they have a budget that was due July 1st that they still haven't approved. So how would they possibly agree to a new Supreme Court justice, let alone three of them?
And that's not the only races, right, for judges that we're going to be asked to vote on Tuesday. There's a contested race for state Superior Court judge.
That's like one level down from Supreme Court.
Okay, between a Democrat and a Republican, and for state Commonwealth judge.
Yep. And then there's also retention votes additionally for those as well. And two more, these are city courts. So we just talked about state court. There's races and retention votes for the Philadelphia Court of Common Pleas and then the Philadelphia Municipal Court. Now, how are you supposed to know how to judge these judges? Like, how do you even possibly know what a good candidate is? As we've talked about before on the show, and we did an interview with them during the primary, the Philadelphia Bar Association does extensive vetting and research, and they have recommended candidates, and they also identified some candidates that they do not recommend. So that is really the best way to.
Reasons.
Yes, exactly right. So that is really the best way to kind of like figure this out. You take a look at what their recommendations are, and you can use that as a guide. So now let me just drill down here and talk about these two city courts. 11 candidates for 11 seats for the Philadelphia Court of Common Pleas. The Bar Association recommended all of the candidates except for one, Joseph J. Russo. But again, 11 candidates for 11 seats. So as long as Russo votes for himself, he'll probably be okay. And then there are an additional 13 judges running to be retained on the Court of Common Pleas. 4 of those 13 are actually not recommended. Dane Gray, Frank Palumbo, Lyris Young, and Scott DeClaudio. Does that last name ring a bell?
DeClaudio, the cheesesteak judge?
The cheesesteak judge.
Oh, my gosh.
DeClaudio's wife owns, to be honest, a pretty great cheesesteak shop in Center City called Shay's Steaks.
I haven't had it yet.
They have like high-end meat options.
But then he is involved in this?
But yeah, so his wife owns it, but he was charged last year by the State Judicial Conduct Board with ethics violations because he was allegedly playing up the judge thing to promote the shop. So he was referred to in a news story about the shop as Wiz Honor. It's pretty funny, right? And the only place this could happen is Philadelphia. And then he is also now facing new charges that have resulted in being put on administrative leave, and that's for helping out a friend of his who is a mutual friend of Meek Mill's, who was in trouble with the law, and he was like supposedly pressuring another judge to hook this guy up. So he's in a little bit of hot water. He was not recommended by the Bar Association, and the One of the other judges not recommended for retention for this court is Judge Dane Gray, after he had 16 rulings that were later overturned by a higher court. In one reversal, the Inquirer reported that other judges were, quote, appalled that Gray had returned a vulnerable infant to a mother who had been accused of severe neglect. So that is interesting to me because it shows that these retention votes matter. They affect people's lives. I mean, that affected this family's life, his decision here, whether it was the right one or wrong one, it really matters. So these votes matter.
Okay. That is a lot of like background drama in these races. But the other race that folks should pay attention to is the Philadelphia Municipal Court judges race.
Yes. And there's 4 Democrats running for 4 seats, no Republicans, but only 2 of them, Amanda Davidson and Michael Parkinson, are recommended by the Philadelphia Bar Association. And that is a lot. You just listen to me talk a lot and throw a lot of names, but we have all this information that our newsletter editor, Siani Colon, put together. So if you go to philly.citycast.fm, look for our election guide. You can get all those names. You can see who was recommended and not recommended. And then you can link through to the Bar Association website. You can link through to news stories about some of these judicial candidates. And you can get a better bearing of what's going on with this election. And maybe you can bring the election guide with you to the polls. Or you could just re-listen to the Friday News Roundup over and over and over again until you understand what's happening in this crazy election.
We've got more news after the break. Did you see the sheriff of Philadelphia line dancing in City Hall Square?
I only saw it because you sent it to me because you are all over the sheriff's social media because she fascinates you.
Yeah,
and we've had her on the show.
We sat down with her, talked with her about the office and the things that she deals with. And one of the things is, her office has been trying to hire and recruit more deputies.
Yes.
And so they did this kind of like funny, where them fans at dance. And they're like shaking the fans. So I went on the Philadelphia Sheriff's site.
Was the line dancing intended to attract candidates?
Yes.
Okay, got
yeah.
it.
So I went on their site and it says that the starting salary is $53,928 with a hiring bonus of $10,784. Apply online by December 28th.
Are you saying that that's not enough?
I mean, CityCast did not do a line dance to get me in here. I don't know. It's a little quirky.
Yeah.
It's a little like, it's different. It's a different way to engage with Philadelphians to get them, interested in these positions.
It's definitely the opposite of posting an announcement on LinkedIn.
Right.
And I could see, if there happened to be a person walking by or a parent of somebody who might be interested walking by, and if they attracted 3 or 4 new sheriff's officers because of this, then maybe it's worthwhile. How much did this whole line dancing operation cost? Was it did it seem like?
I don't know. It didn't look like it cost too much money. Like, it just kind of like looked like cell phone footage of them doing the line dance. Deputy Sheriff Justice, the mascot of the sheriff's office, was dancing as well.
People are still calling for the sheriff's office to be abolished, but that does not seem like it's happening anytime soon. And she's trying to.
I mean, I think
build
this
up
is
the ranks.
like I said, like it's a quirky way of getting people interested in your office.
We should do that next time.
I mean,
we're
I think
hiring
maybe maybe the election ads need to be a little bit more quirky.
Oh, interesting.
Not like, did you know that this candidate is doing this? And it's like so scary.
Totally.
And they're also like, the candidates are walking around in the quote unquote neighborhood shaking hands. I have never seen one of those commercials filmed. I have never had anyone shake my hand.
That's true. Me neither. I've never had an actual candidate knock on my door ever once in my life.
No. You know who knocks on my door? Verizon.
Yeah. Verizon's not running for something.
They want me to switch over.
Yeah, I want to see Pat Dugan doing a line dance to.
I don't want to see that.
Okay.
But like, I understand maybe a little bit of like why they make these like election ads so like doom and gloom. It's because it's like,
Well, that's what motivates people. Fear.
Yeah, but it's. My kid rolled her eyes and said, "Not today," when the election commercials came on.
Wow.
And she's like, dangling her feet on the couch, just chilling, relaxing, playing her little game. I was like, girl, buckle up because it's about to get crazy.
Right.
Anyway, federal government shut down.
As politicians are in our face to get them to vote for us, it seems like our government's not really working very well. We don't have a state budget, and the federal government is shut down, and that means...
And they're going to snatch up SNAP benefits.
Yep. After this weekend, no SNAP. In Philadelphia, more than 470,000 people, that's nearly 1 in 3 residents, get SNAP.
It's insane. But, Matt, I want to shout out the restaurants in the city, the breweries, the other elected officials, too. Everyone is posting about where to get food. We have something on our site, where to find food pantries in Philly. Go to philly.citycast.fm. Tosca Restaurant and Brewery in Mount Airy is giving 1 free cheese pizza if you show your EBT card. CHOP has a mobile food center making stops at Avery D. Harrington Elementary on November 6th and William C. Bryant Elementary on November 13th. The Center for Returning Citizens has several pantries available on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Check out their IG page for dates and locations. And the city has a food and meal finder at phila.gov/food, where you can find supplemental food and groceries. Now, get this. This is for any resident, and you can use this resource. You don't need an ID. You don't need a proof of income to go to these food pantries. But bring your own bags, like your shopping bags or grocery bags, and bring a cart if you don't have a car, because sometimes these food pantries, they give out other things, other household items that you might need.
It's amazing, the list you just read off, how many
and
businesses and
more
nonprofits are stepping up. It's amazing. It's great.
And then anytime I see them on my IG, I try to like repost it just to kind of get the word out. And there's places all over the city that I guess they do like pop-ups. They may not be like formal, like, organizations, but it's just good Philadelphians reaching out. I saw something about 2 robbers. If you bring a can to 2 robbers, then you get a can back. And I'm talking cocktail.
Wow. Wait, you get a cocktail?
You get a cocktail if you bring a can of food.
That's fantastic.
I know, that's cool.
I mean, when government fails us, community really steps up, you know?
It does.
That's awesome.
Now, listen, back to the whole no Pennsylvania budget thing. This week, you guys heard an interview I did with Speaker of the House, Joanna McClinton, about this dire situation. And this week, the Inquirer reported that William Penn School District out in Delco, which is actually represented by Speaker McClinton, is running out of money, like really like a lot of these school districts are at this point.
Wow.
They're so short on cash.
This is because the state budget hasn't been passed and the state hasn't sent them the funds that they're owed. Got it.
They're running out of money and they will be short on cash by January. This is a school district with about 4,500 students coming from households that are not wealthy. And this is just another example of just how critical life is for Pennsylvanians without these state funds getting dispersed from Harrisburg. So, Matt, my question remains, how long is this freaking thing going to last?
It's unfathomable.
I was watching World News with David Muir on 6 this week. And, I mean, he said it so well. Democrats blame Republicans. Republicans blame Democrats. It is such a, like, back and forth that it's like, who is going to wake up and say, all right, we need to come together now? Like, we done the whole pull and tug. Someone has to bring it together.
Well, at the state level, I mean, that's supposed to be the governor,
On the federal level, it's supposed to be the president.
right?
Anyway.
6-7.
6-7. What a great transition because we don't know what the heck else to say. What a year. And it's October 31st. Anyway, every year, dictionary.com crowns a word or phrase of the year that's trendy to our culture that year. And according to the site, they call it a linguistic time capsule, which I love.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this year, dictionary.com is giving the word of the year to 6-7. 6-7. And you got to like move your hands back and forth like 6-7. So the term comes from North Philly rapper Skrilla and is from his song Doop Doop. So it's literally pronounced, you might see like the number 6 and 7, but it's literally pronounced 6-7. This year, parents, teachers, coaches have been all annoyed by kids and teenagers saying it in like any way that they can. Like normally, right? Like you say, hey, I'm going to go pick you up around 6-7 o'clock. They're like 6-7.
I know they die in laughter. I have this what has been going on in my house too for the last few weeks.
I can't say it. Like, so as you guys know, my kid's on a million football teams.
Yep.
And so any kid that has the jersey number 67 or any kid that has 6 and 7 cannot stand next to each other because they're all going to go 6-7, 6-7.
There was somebody talking about changing the name of the 76ers for a promotion and just calling them the 67ers because they'd fill the arena. Well, Trenae, tell us, what does you're an expert, you're a mother of these children in Philadelphia. What does 6-7? What does it mean?
Nothing. It means nothing.
It literally means nothing.
Well, speaking of 6-7, you remember
6-7?
6-7. Do you remember when the Greyhound bus terminal was on between like 6th, 7th, and Market Streets?
Yeah.
Well, guess what, Matt? It might return back to Filbert Street.
That's unreal.
Which was on like 10th, 11th.
It was on 10th, 11th, moved to 6th, 7th, and on Market, and then
to Northern Liberties.
Northern Liberties, which as we had done a show on, it was a shit show up there. There was no facilities for people to be waiting for their intercity buses.
And this was like such a like confusing kind of like debacle. And
Totally.
especially with so many different city services
Right.
and like stakeholders and like neighborhood groups were getting angry that it kept getting moved. And then also travelers were upset that there were no public restrooms
Right.
available or just shelter if it rained or if it was cold or if it was too hot.
Unbelievable. And now we're back at the original bus station in Chinatown, maybe. I mean, this is a developing story.
Right.
What we know as we're recording this is that the Philadelphia Parking Authority wants to renovate the former intercity bus terminal that used to be on Filbert Street and now reopen it for the Greyhound intercity buses. This is going to require city council involvement and a new lease with the property owner. But I mean, I guess it's welcome news. I mean, we want a bus station back. But it also gets into the whole, like, what's going on? This is Chinatown. This is East Market. That whole area is up in the air after the 76ers arena was supposed to go there. And now it's going back to South Philly. So it's just
makes
more
sense
flux.
Yeah, and it makes sense for PPA to do this because PPA is already down there.
Right. They're already
Because I had to go
Fight a
and
ticket.
talk to them about
Yeah.
some tickets.
I know, I've been there myself.
But yeah, so we will look into any developments on this story.
Yep. Stay tuned.
We've got more news after the break. Weekend plans. What you doing this weekend?
Halloween, baby.
Halloween. I'm so excited.
Yeah. All right. Tell us. What do you got? What are you doing?
Yaya is Moana, Disney princess. We're doing another Disney princess theme. And she said, Mom, please be Tafiti. So I'm going to be looking like Mother Nature.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
I got the wig. I got a green sweater dress because it's going to be cold. It's very DIY. So she's got these like vines that she hung up in her room. I'm taking those right off the wall. I'm going to wrap them around my arms and my waist.
Great.
And then I've got these like flowers. We're just going to add them onto it. Done.
Please tell me your son is being Maui, Dwayne Johnson, the Rock's character.
He's a teenager. So he'll be somewhere in Philly. 6, 7.
Oh, that's so great.
Okay, what are you guys debating? Because the whole family gets involved, right?
Yeah. Not the teenager.
Yeah, I know. Like, ugh.
My daughter is going to be a Spice Girl with her friends. They're all going to be Spice Girls.
They know about Spice Girls?
I know. I was surprised by that too, actually.
Well, the 90s are back.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then the rest of us in the family and a couple of our other friends are going to be the characters from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
That is so good. Yeah, you are doing the wife, Linda, who's amazing. I'm obviously going to be Bob. And then we have the kids. My son is Gene, and our friend is Tina, and then her daughter is Louise. And then we're going to be in a pack going trick-or-treating. We're going to hit up Delancey Street, of course, which is where we go every year. You know, the in Center City, Delancey Street is like the strip with the biggest homes, these massive, beautiful old homes, and they just sit on their stoops and you can get the full-size candy bars if you're lucky. It's great.
I love it.
And it's just such a wonderful scene there. And I do love that like our like wealthiest strip in the city just opens up their little neighborhood for all comers, and it's a great scene there. They hired a security guard last year to help with like traffic flow on the intersections, just to keep things safe for the kids. So that's where we'll be. Look for the Bob's Burgers family if you guys are out on Delancey Street.
Nice. Okay, so I'm going to be over in like Mount Airy. Then I'm just going to East Falls.
Oh,
and then like around Roxborough.
Okay,
which is like complete like 3 different neighborhood
and you can walk
styles.
But you'll walk between all of them? Or you have to drive at all?
I feel like I gotta drive if I'm in Mount Airy.
Sure.
And I don't know what the walking situation is in East Falls because East Falls has crazy hills.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, Roxborough is different because it's literally like row homes.
Which is great for trick-or-treating because you can hit up so many houses.
Yes. And it's like boom, 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 boom,
totally.
boom. And I love the houses that think of the parents. So last year, one house was giving out like 2 different styles of drinks. It was like a light liquor and a dark liquor. While the kids are trick-or-treating.
That's so great.
And then another house was giving out hot dogs.
Really?
So you can get a whole meal, one block radius, and your kids are like,
There is a good amount of adult drinking that goes on during these trick-or-treating experiences. I mean, you see like dads with backpacks on. You're like, what's going on in the backpack? Is it candy? You're like, no, he's got a 12-pack of Miller Lite in there.
That's insane.
I'm partial to a flask. It just goes right in the pocket. You can be subtle about it.
But West Philly apparently does it big, and they've got a fright registry, which we highlighted on the show last week. Go check it out. I know it's tons of resources of which houses have the best candy and which houses have great Halloween decorations.
A couple of other things going on this weekend. If Halloween isn't your thing, or if you did the Halloween thing Friday and looking for something else this weekend, there's a new art museum opening up in our city.
What?
We just got the Calder Gardens opened, and now we have another art museum. This is so great. The Woodmere Museum in Chestnut Hill, which already exists, they're opening a second location 2 blocks away, 14 galleries, 500 works of art, all from the Philly region, from artists in the Philly region. It's in this magnificent 19th century mansion. There's art everywhere in this place. They did all kinds of interesting things. They took murals from the ceiling of some rich banker's mansion on Rittenhouse Square from back in the day. He had this music room where he had murals on the ceiling, and they took those murals and they've like put them up in this new space, in this new Woodmere Museum space. So that's going to be pretty awesome to look at. And they open this weekend with free admission. There's a bunch of festivities involved in this opening weekend. There's a caricature artist and circus performers. There's a mime and stilt walkers, a jazz ensemble. So check out the Woodmere Museum in Chestnut Hill.
Well, you know what also is good to look at? A winning team, and that is the Sixers. The Sixers are 4-0. Sixers take on the Celtics tonight, Friday at 7 p.m. down at the X. They're hot right now.
Hop on the Sixers bandwagon. This rookie VJ Edgecombe has been fantastic. Tyrese Maxey is, the last I checked, the leading scorer in the league. Joel Embiid is playing a little bit. It gets a little tired sometimes, and then he sits down. He doesn't play every day. It seems like it's not really so much his team anymore. You got these young guys taking over. Very exciting. Hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be nice to take a break from the anxiety-inducing Eagles team. We have a bye week, thank God. And my kids got a bye week from football, so.
Oh, look at you.
I get to sleep in because it's the end of daylight savings.
That's right. Everybody set your clocks back this weekend. I mean, your phones will already do it automatically, but if you happen to still have a analog clock, you want to set that back.
Yes. All right, and before we get into the credits this week, we have to shout out a CityCast Philly neighbor. Steph wants us to shout out her weekend plans. She says, my family is taking a trip to Hellerick's Adventure Farm in Doylestown for a corn maze, leaf peeping, and fall fun.
The leaves are popping right now.
Yes, they
Now is the
are.
perfect weekend for that.
My God, go outside. I think it won't be raining tonight, so it'll be windy though. So hold down the Halloween decorations.
Yeah, be right.
The pumpkins are gonna be rolling in the street.
Hope you don't have delicate costumes.
All right, Matt, thanks for chatting with me this week on CityCast Philly.
Have a great Halloween, Trenae, to you and your family.
Happy Halloween. That's all for us here on CityCast Philly. Our executive producer is Matt Katz. Our producers are Abby Fritz, Lizzie Goldsmith, and Elizabeth Kama. Our Hey Philly newsletter editors are Siani Colon and Adrian Gonzalez. And our host is me, Trenae Nuri. Music is by Philly's own Interminable, with additional music from all the Kimonos. If you enjoyed the show, share it with a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter, Hey Philly. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Have a great weekend and be safe, y'all. Happy Halloween. Bye.